Alright, here we are approaching the city limits. As you can see, there's almost nothing around. There's still some buildings and stuff, but for the most part, there's nothing. This is the edge of Des Moines on one street. So I just did a U-turn here. We'll reset the trip meter. We are at 0 miles for the trip. So we're going to come into the city here. There's houses and stuff on my right approaching. There's houses on the left. Get up to 55. Fortunately, it's kind of dreary outside, so you can't really see a whole lot. Turn the windshield wipers down. Don't need to be on that much. Alright, so there's a church on my left here. And we have some of the first apartment houses. So entering the city, we have huge-ass mansion-like house thingies. As you can see, they're pretty big. Then we have a Chevy dealership. There's a farm on my left, so you can see this is the edge of the city for sure. And then coming up here on the right is a Chevy dealership. We are going 55 miles an hour right now, too, by the way. So, here we go. Gas station. A dummy about to pull out in front of me. Hospital up on my right. Hotel on my left. And right up here, we're going to go underneath the bridge. It's one of the main interstates. It's the north-south 65 highway. Probably the first time I've actually been out this far, honestly, that I wasn't on the highway. So, there we go. Underneath the highway, there's a bank on my left. There's more car dealerships on the right. Housing, businesses, way more housing, residential way back there. A water park up here on the right. Mechanics, car washes. Can't really see it with this really crappy camera, but there's a big apartment building over there. That's what you're looking right now in the middle of the screen right here. It's an apartment building complex. All of those big buildings in the background are. I can't really see. Still can't really see. It's kind of better. Now I'll try and leave the window down, but it's kind of cold outside. It's 40 degrees. With the window down. Heat on. Alright, so we've only gone 1.7 miles, and here we are at a red light. Just turned green. We're approaching the first McDonald's on the left. Pay attention to how many McDonald's there are on just this street. So there is a demolished building. You can't see through this idiot in the pickup truck. So all this stuff is, it's a broken down building or something happened to it. There's the McDonald's. And here's the water park. There's a giant dolphin and all kinds of things here on the right. There's another church on the left. Over here. Real estate office, construction companies, auto care, mechanics, daycare, another gas station here. There's a Hy-Vee approaching here on the left. A Casey's. Once again, we're still going 50 miles an hour through the city. This is a main street. It's not even like a highway. There we go. The Hy-Vee gas station, mechanics, restaurants. Passing over another river here. 1 second. Bunch of business parks over here on the right. Strip malls. It's Saturday, so there aren't a whole lot of cars. I don't even know if you can be able to see them with this camera here or not. But a lot of businesses over here. There's a fitness and tanning building. Yeah, that building is just for tanning and exercising, that giant ass thing. And then it's another river. We're gonna go over another bridge here. Bit of a dead space with nothing really going on. And now we're getting kind of into some residential. A bunch of houses, apartments, another red light. Oh, so we've gone 3 miles, and I don't know how long this video is, so I'm gonna set a timer just for my own entertainment here. We're gonna set that, start, yes. Okay. State Fairgrounds are coming up on the left. Alright, so we are at East 41st, I'm sorry. East 41st. More houses, more complexes, more. Houses on the left, houses on the right, cars, storage facility. I can get around these people because we go really, really slow. Speed limit's only 35 now. I probably should slow down. 43 should be good enough. There's houses. Left, houses on the right. Slow down just a tad. More houses, they go all the way up back. Every direction now there's houses everywhere you look. I don't know how well you can see it on this camera. Like I said, we'll have to see when I'm done making this video. I just don't want to have to make it again, because it's a really long drive. So here's another gas station here on the right. The fairgrounds are over here on the left. There's a giant stadium and all kinds of things. More houses. There's a Burger King coming up here on the right. A Walgreens, QT. QT is an awesome gas station. More businesses, more traffic, as you can see. We're getting farther into the city. Here's a Domino's. Just got cut off by a dumbass. Mechanics, concrete place, cigarette shop. More cigarette shops. Weird ass shaped building back there. I don't know if I caught it on the camera or not. More houses, another storage place, another car dealership, auto parts store, thrift store. There's one of the first grocery stores. Although Hy-Vee is kind of a grocery store, this is a much better grocery store. It's called Aldi, right here. And then here's the second McDonald's so far, on the right. More car dealerships, both right and left. There's a gas transport truck here on the right that I'm going to have to pass because he's kind of in my way of seeing things. There's a Subway, another car dealership, hair salon, funky shaped building, AE Dairy Factory. They produce a crap load of milk. There's a dollar store. More AE Dairy. This is a giant factory. It goes like almost half a mile. There's the giant cows. I hope you saw him. There's a Taco John's. We're passing underneath another interstate here, approaching here on the head. You can see the bridge, I think, in the camera. That's a railway bridge, actually, and then that big ass one is the interstate bridge. You can see here, it's 8 lanes or 9, I think. I don't know, but it's not a small bridge. It's not a small interstate at all. And there's another one right here. That's an on-ramp, I think. Yep, that's the on-ramp. Alright, so now we're going to fix that, get all that crap out of the way. Now we're getting into kind of some billboards. Hello, Mr. Police Officer. Alright. So now we've only gone 6 miles in. There's another church here on the right. Another gas station coming up here on the left. I can see that little red strip around it. I don't know. Oh, it's not a gas station. It's something else. It's another stadium. Like I said, I'm not used to this area of the city. Another stadium. Another subway over there. The Capitol's in the background. I don't know if you can see it. It's a gold-capped building. Another strip mall with lots of businesses here on the right. Home zone. I don't know what that is. Oceandale on the right. There's another Walgreens. I think that's only the third one. Maybe it's the second. So now we're at another red light here. And now we've gone 7 miles. 6.8. Anyway, it's close enough to 7 to call it 7. There's the third Dairy Queen up here on the right. My light is green! Yay! Alright, so... and we continue the trek across Des Moines on the street called University Boulevard. It's actually got 2 names. It's East University and Normal University. The east side thinks it's special, so it had to have a different name for university. Just added east to it. It does that to everything. Here's another QT up here on the right. The second QT. And here's another red light. Damn it. Another strip mall with more businesses. Another hospital kind of thing. It's a family medicine center. I guess that's where you go if you need stitches or something. I don't know what they do. It doesn't look like a very large building. But they do something, I'm sure. So, more businesses. That one looks like it's closed. Oh well. More businesses, more big buildings. There's the Iowa Lutheran Hospital back in the back. You can see it. It's not a very small building. It's pretty large. There's more big buildings coming up on the right. I'll have to make a video of the Capitol. I have to do that on foot because you can't really drive around down there. There's a giant monument thing. I don't know what the hell that's for. There's a giant factory building approaching up here on the right. I'm sorry, on the left. I only knew my directions. There's more of downtown in the distance. You can kind of see some of the large buildings. You can see the dome. You can see some of the stuff. Here's another mechanic, another car dealership, credit union. That big thing over in the background, that is one big building. If you'll believe it, I wish I could take a better picture of it because this camera thing does not really do it justice. I'm going to focus on this building for a bit longer. There's a hotel on the right, that big tall building here. Alright, so here we are approaching this monster building. Oh, this is a nursing and rehab center is what that is. This, on the other hand, is a gigantic super building. That part is the parking garage, I believe. I don't know. Oh, it's Mercy Medical Center. It's the hospital. That's the hospital. There's the helicopter up there on the roof. Here is the third Quick Trip on the right, along with the third McDonald's, which you'll see here in a second. Now, there's the third McDonald's. There's another Mercy right there. So, here we go. Now we're at 8 miles into the city, which is still not very far. There's one of the colleges, DMAC, East DMAC. Now we're at 9th Avenue. So, there here. Street needs to go straight. Yeah. There we go. Alright. 11th Hot Fashions. I don't know what that is. This is, I really don't know what that building is. I couldn't tell you. There's a family store. Another large-ass building. People walking around. More houses. Really hope that the battery in this phone or in this camera lasts long enough to do this whole street, because I don't think we're even a third of the way. Here's a park over here on my left with a golf course. Even more houses. Mansions, really, some of them. The name of that park is Good Park, which is a freaking lame-ass name for a park, but whatever. Auto parts store here on the right. Another big building. One of them is a church, I think. A purple house. Cool. The house is actually purple. That's interesting. Here's Martin Luther King Jr. Parkway. Another mechanic. Fourth Come and Go or Get and Go. They're pretty much the same. Laundromat. More houses. A pet hospital. A hospital just for your pets. That's it. There's no other purpose for that hospital except for pets. There is big ass long strip of businesses here. Daydreams. That's a fun place to go into if you want to get high on frickin' incense smell. Here's a bank on here on the right. More businesses. Big tall church. First Christian Church. Drake University's over here on the right. That's another college. You can kind of see some of the buildings for it. It's a bunch of buildings. It's kind of like Radford. Just tons and tons of big ass buildings. Here's a really cool building. A really cool house anyway. It's got stone pillars. Still passing Drake on the right. That's the college. All of these buildings are part of Drake on the right. Everything. Still Drake. Here's the third Walgreens, fourth Walgreens. I've lost count. I don't really know. There's more Drake over here and there, and there, and there, and there. Everywhere there's a Drake College. And then houses on the left. Now we're finally to 31st Street. Woohoo! It's only been 10 miles. And I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a while. I'm getting tired of talking. And the traffic is going slow. It is going very, very slow. There is still yet more Drake University on my right, and until finally this building here is a church. And the speed limit is 30 miles an hour, and these people are going 25, and I don't know why. Oh, because they want to turn. Well, okay then. So, going around the idiots. More big houses, more big apartments, another big house. You get the idea. I think there's a lot of houses, just a few. There's another church, another house, more houses, more apartments. Now we're finally getting into the area that I'm somewhat familiar with. It's a house covered in vines. That looked pretty cool. More big houses, mansions, really. Uptown apartments. That's freaking hilarious. A State Farm. Another Hy-Vee. I think that's the fourth one. I think possibly the fifth. I don't remember. You probably can keep track better than me. They're everywhere. It's a main grocery store. There's a little Caesars on my right here. We're finally into my delivery area. We're 10 miles into the city now. So, houses on the left, houses on the right. The speed limit's finally consistent. It's 35 or 30 or something like that anyway, but there's a red light up ahead. Of course, I set my cruise, there's a red light. There's a house, more on the right, and on the left. Des Moines Rentals on the right. O'Donnell Ace Hardware. This is where I dropped off my U-Haul from Virginia. Yup. It's back in there. There's a giant-ass cemetery coming up here on the right side. All of that is cemetery. All of this. I remember when I was a kid, we drive past this cemetery every day, and I don't remember where we used to live, but we'd drive past this freaking cemetery every day. Every day, drove past this cemetery. And it's on both sides of the road. And here's 55th Street. We are going all the way out to 100 and something Street, so it's still a while yet to go. House is on my left, house is on the right. Cars in front of me, slowing me down. See, I'm only going 29. I should be going 40, but no. People don't want to go fast because it's raining, and they're freaking wussies. And a red light. Or Merle Hay, anyway. So there's a church over here on my right again. That building right there is a church. And then more houses. This is a vacuum store. The whole point of it is to sell vacuum cleaners. And nothing but vacuum cleaners. Seriously, that whole building. Just vacuums. Red light turned green. And we go and go and go and go. Alright, so hopefully I'll get past these people and we can make this a little bit faster, but unfortunately I have to deal with slow people right now. There's a semi driving down the road. There's an elementary school here on the right. That is an elementary school. That big building is one elementary school. Some impatient person passing on the left. 63rd Street here. That's another hospital, or I'm sorry, a church. And then here's another church. There's churches everywhere. Past all these people. And then I'm in Windsor Heights and the speed limit drops to 25. Roar! And another red light. Windsor Heights is annoying as hell. There's an apartment complex on the right. There's someone stopped in the middle of the road for who knows what reason. And there's a real estate building. This building over here is just for selling real estate. It looks kind of cool. And there's another Hy-Vee coming up here on the right here soon. There's a State Farm. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the 5th Hy-Vee on one street. There's another Dairy Queen. I think that makes number 4. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. That makes number 4 for the Dairy Queens. And there's the Hy-Vee up here on the right. Kind of see it over there. I'm sure you can read it. There's a Walmart back in there, which we're not going to go that way, though. That involves turning and not going in a straight line, so we're not going to go to Walmart. So we're going straight, still straight. More straight and then more straight. Alright, so here we go. Now we're at 73rd Street in a red light. Another come and go. There's a Bebop's back there, if you've ever heard of it, and I doubt it. and we wait for the light. Well, actually, we wait for the cars that are waiting on the light, because I can't drive through them. Alright, so, still driving now. This, over here on the left, is the strip mall, which had our very first Northern Lights pizza. It was right there, where the ceiling kind of is all boarded up, that one right next to it. Here's a Service Master, which basically cleans your carpets. That's the whole point of them. There's a brewing company. They just make beer. That's all they do. They make beer all day long, and then they sell it to the public. It's really kind of weird. You can go in there for just a glass of beer. It's a brewery. I don't understand. But anyway. Alright, so got a big gas station coming up on the right. It's a gas storage station, I should say. This whole thing that they do is store gas for whatever reason they might need a few million gallons of gas. Those big white cylinder Taller things are full of gasoline. Yup, and there are 12 or 13 of them. They're very, 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 very big. And you can't really get a grasp from this distance how big those things are, but they're really, really, really big. Now, we're getting to a point on this street where it splits. And this is a street where it goes for a really long time, but then it has like almost a mile where it's a different street, and I have to take a left turn and then a right turn to get back on my street, because it starts again right down there. Right there, it starts again, and I have to turn right. So right now I'm in the left turn lane, and I'm going to turn left, and then I'm going to turn around and go right. And there's my favorite bagel shop right there. It's called Brugger's Bagels, and it's got awesome bagels, and they're like 60 cents each or something. I don't know, but they're freaking awesome.